Hello, I'm Janie from Messages from Heaven by Janie on YouTube. Um, I wanted to talk to you today about finding the right one, which means the right woman or man. I have been married for 60 years. Um, that is a long time. Did we know when we got married that we were marrying the right one? No, we didn't. Um, he had a reading by a psychic that time who told him he was going to meet what the hell did she put it? A funny young woman with long black hair. My hair was pretty almost black. And silly. She said a silly young woman. And yeah, oh yeah, I was always silly. And I still am silly. Uh, so he had an inkling. Um, did I? Well, I thought he was really handsome. I mean, I was such a young kid that that you look for different things at different ages, and I was really too young to get married. However, I'm not too young now to tell you. Yes, I did marry the right one. It always takes people a long time. Once you're married for a few years, you start fighting, fighting about power. Who has the power to do this? Who has the power to say when the dishes should be done? And um, who folds the sheets right or wrong, or who irons them or doesn't, and all kinds of crazy stuff. But you really fight about it. Why are your shoes in the living room? Why are you walking barefoot? That's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have dinner at 6 o'clock. Um, we are, mom did this, mom cooked it this way. Uh, Luckily, uh, I'm going to sneeze. Woohoo! My mother was not really a cook, and yeah, I had to make some things. But Harry's mom, that's my husband, his mom used to really cook, and he knew how to make things. His father liked to cook too. His grandmother lived there with him, and she cooked too. Um, he had a good idea about cooking, and was fine. We didn't really fight over that, but people fight over money a lot. And when you get over that, when you are able to get over that part of getting along with another person, then you can really get along. Once you realize that the person is uh, just is trying to get you to, number one, hear them. Number two, uh, well, listen to their point of view and answer that way. Maybe do it the way mom did it, and if not, have a conversation about it. Um, I needed sometimes with people, you need a place to go away so that you don't fight. Because I used to get really mad. I would be enraged. What do you mean you're telling me blah 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 blah? That doesn't work. That works very badly. If you want to have a big fight, that's a good idea. Just have, he screams and yells, and you scream and yell, and then you start calling each other names, and you start throwing his stuff out the window, and then a neighbor calls the police. That didn't happen. We didn't do that. God, we didn't do that. But we definitely had neighbors who did, and because I come from Philadelphia, where we lived in a row house, and one neighbor threw her wedding ring out the window, and we knew about that, and the police would come and stuff because they were really fighting. It's hard to get over that, but for people like me who are defensive, and I'm I have to watch myself because I'm always ready to fight. Not good. It, it's a family thing. So okay, I had to take myself away. Like, you know, I've always been a painter. I went to school for painting people, especially. I started when I was 13, and um, if you know Fleischer Art Memorial in Philadelphia, I went there, and then later on, I got a scholarship to the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, for which I have a lot of affection. That was a great place. So that's my background. And I had a studio in my house, thank God. And so when Harry would get really angry, I could, I learned finally, I mean, after years of arguing back, I finally realized, let me go to my studio. And that worked. You take yourself away from the screamy person, including yourself, into another room, and that helps a lot. It helps if it's your mother or your father or your brother, whoever is screaming at you. If it's your friend, if it's your friend and you're on the phone and you're fighting, you say, Susan, I love you. Let me call you back. That's if you really do love her. She's really a good friend. Let me call you back and we'll talk about this, okay? I can call you back today or I can call you back tomorrow. All right? And once we're calmed down, we can talk about this. Doesn't that sound good? And then you can really talk with the other person. Okay. Um, if you are worried, you may not find somebody to be with you. Okay. I know that. I understand that feeling. And you see all your friends getting married and maybe having children, and maybe you want children, maybe you don't. Both of our children didn't want children for a long time, and we did not think we were going to be grandparents. Um, they both went through long periods with somebody other than the person they eventually married. Um, that's okay. It takes a long time sometimes to get over and realize this handsome guy or this brilliant guy is a pain in the butt. You don't want to spend your lifetime with them. Now, it's possible that, yes, you could. I mean, it's actually likely. I had a psychotherapist back in the starting 1969. And his thing was, he used to say, you can be married to anyone. It's just that you have to work it out. It's better if you have similar goals, you come from a similar background, you have, you feel you're either liberal or you're whatever, and you can understand each other. You thing is, you don't have to get married. You don't have to find a spouse. You can have now you can have a child without getting married. A lot of how many people get divorced anyway? And the woman ends up with a child, or once in a while the man ends up with a child. Is that bad? No, because if you love the child, and then, I mean, the child should have access to the other parent, hopefully, but children need love, and there are so many children out there who are lost. Um, we have a drug war. I mean, we have people addicted and dying who have children. If I didn't read it in the newspaper and wasn't aware of it, I would know because I talked to a lot of parents who lost their children to addiction. Um, there are children who need to be adopted. Um, One of my grandchildren was adopted. She is wonderful. There's a funny thing about adoption, and as a psychic, I can tell you, um, my granddaughter, who was adopted, was my twin 2 lives ago. Now, I believe in reincarnation, and if you don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. What I've been saying is good for psychic people and unpsychic people, which isn't really a word. Anyway, she was my twin. We both died in the only raid, the only bombing that the Nazis did in I forgot the city in during the Spanish Civil War in 1937. Um, she she is part of our family, not only because she was adopted into it, but she was meant. Oh, I forgot. I saw her. I saw her in a vision about 35 years ago. I mean, she's only 10. Um, I knew that she was supposed to be my daughter's child, and I think she was supposed to be with her fiance, but it didn't happen. My daughter didn't want that to happen. And so she was adopted. She doesn't know that about the stories, and it's got to sound weird because, because she knows the family from which she was adopted. Okay. Also, my other two granddaughters and my adopted granddaughter's brother were my children in another life, and my two granddaughters were miscarriages that I had. I had a few miscarriages. I remember like 3, 4. I don't know. Um, Kids. I don't know if that's always the case, but I think it is a lot. Okay, that's enough. I really should just do that separately. I wanted to talk about what can you do if you're not finding the right spouse. You don't have to be gay to have a partner who is the same sex. Um, Not every person who lives with another woman or another man is gay. I know it seems like, yeah, they must be. No, they're not. Not always. I thought that too. He said to a woman out by my brother's in Oregon, "Oh, your partner, blah blah blah," and she said, "We're not gay." Oh, I was embarrassed. And but it's I mean, it's something I had to understand. So there's nothing saying that you can't do that. And I'm sorry, men, but there's always a man. You can always find a man. You want a man, you'll find a man. Just be careful you don't get somebody horrible who's going to, follow you home and like call you all the time and drive you crazy. But I guess that's really the crux of what I wanted to say, that um, just because you feel you need a man um, doesn't mean that the first one who's interested in you is it. Don't worry if something goes wrong and he backs away, or you find you can't be with him. He's obnoxious. Or there's one thing you always want to avoid. I forgot. It's important. You never want a man, excuse me, who belittles you, who tells you you don't know how to do anything, um, or curses at you, or you're such a bum, or you'll never be anything, or you look like crap, or anything, any of those kinds of things. You don't want them. I don't want to curse on here, but throw him to the curb immediately. Do not let him pass go. Do not, I don't care if you're married to him and you have two kids, you got to find a way out because he will destroy your character until you feel like you can't get out. You need to. If your parents won't help you, call the number that the state or the whoever. There are numbers of people who will help. You have to find them. And if you have a computer or you have a cell phone, you can. And if it's really a problem, write to me and I'll help you figure it out. That's important. You never want that. Okay, I think maybe that's it. I don't want to stay on here just to gab. Um, I didn't want to put a lot of makeup on, and I was dressed to go to a doctor's visit that was canceled, and I figured, well, I've got my jewelry on. See, I got jewelry on, got my little moonstone that's supposed to be helpful, psychic and helpful, and my little stuff. Um, Take it easy. My email is spiritsbyjaynee at gmail.com. Feel free to write to me. You can look me up and talk to me. It's fine. My readings, I do readings, and they're $50. And if you can't afford it, so tell me you can't afford it, and I'll let you go. Looking at my eyes. Okay, I know I was upset about the doctor's thing. And well, I combed my hair. Um, it's supposed to be purple. It's getting too light, and I'm waiting. Should I call for makeup? Maybe my husband would come up. I can just imagine what he would do with makeup. But anyway, all right. Um, please push the buttons. I appreciate it. And come back. And also tell me what you want to hear, what you'd like. Okay. Um, Today was about meeting your spouse. Okay. Take it easy. Thank you for watching. Have a great afternoon and evening. Bye bye.